All right, so let's get into the RFK site. Talking about RFK here. So
Ooh,
quick, just a quick discussion from Grant Polson on X, discussing the possibility of not being able to tailgate the next Commander Stadium at RFK. Eric Flack says, I'm under the impression we are talking about no tailgating on the property. Would be a significant blow. The current site at RFK is 174 acres. 144 acres are just parking lots at Northwest Stadium alone.
wild.
So, but Mayor Bowser also said she wants retail, housing, green space in addition to the stadium.
I don't
Parking
want any
lights
of
will likely be
green
garages.
space. There's a green space that is going to be 120 yards by 52 in the middle of the stadium. That's the green space that's important.
Place where the players play. Yeah.
You can forget any of that other crap. Okay, this is a football stadium. All right. Now I know that there's some trendy little people who are like, but the Patriots this, the Patriots that, because the Patriots have this big area of bars and such right outside their stadium, right? That's because their stadium is in Foxborough, Massachusetts, where there is nothing other than the stadium.
I don't even know what Foxborough is. It makes no sense.
Massachusetts.
It's a borough of Fox.
I get that.
Yeah. And Baltimore doesn't have. Baltimore has like this much space to tailgate too. I drive by it all the time when I go to the doctor. Right there. There's nowhere to tailgate.
It's the same, but they share a parking lot with the Orioles.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
Minnesota apparently. Minnesota
I've never been to
Vikings.
a Ravens game in Baltimore, but having gone to Orioles games, it's not terrible. I mean, you still have to walk, but it's not like they don't have a great tailgating culture. We do, right? Command Corner, and those of us in the social media sphere, I said this on Twitter, and I tagged Mayor Bowser on this too. I don't think she saw it because the Empress has more important things to do, but people like Command Corner, we can take care of feeding fans. Yeah. All right. We don't need a B-dubs. We don't need a green turtle. All right.
At the tailgate.
You can go down to Nats Park for that shit. Give us a football stadium. Give us parking space.
Parking garage tailgate, yeah.
Give us tailgating space because that's culture.
Yes.
All right. If you want to talk about culture, Mayor Bowers likes to get up there and completely act like she's part of the culture, but she looks like she's never touched drums before in her life when she was trying to do go-go music the other day. It's the most embarrassing shit I've ever seen in my life. Let us tell you about the culture, Mayor Bowser. You don't know nothing about
the one that can't spell.
No, that's the one in
Philadelphia.
Philly.
Mayor.
No, Mayor Bowser is Empress Bowser. All right, you have to go to her and get permission for anything.
And the residents of DC are fearing that if there's going to be no tailgate, what are we going to naturally do? We're going to park somewhere in the residential area where we can tailgate. So it's a concern for them.
They want that, but here's the thing: the city of DC wants that because you know what happened. All right, you used to be able to do that in Nats Park, right? You used to be able to go to that neighborhood that's across the street from Nats Park. If you went back far enough, you could park. There was no zoned parking. It was all right. Then they zoned everything over there for the simple ability to tow your car. All right. I've had a car towed at a spot that there was no signs, but like, nope, this whole block, this whole street is zoned parking. So I gotta go pay $180 on top of the ticket to get the car back.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but look at it from this side. I'm with you. Screw RFK. I don't want it RFK anyways. I'm anti RFK. I do not.
I want it there.
Keep it where it is.
I don't need all that.
Keep it where it is.
You know, Nats Park has that whole several blocks of bars and shit.
Yeah, and restaurants and all that stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Leave it there. There's no reason to have two of those in the same city. All right. You two stadium districts. All right. You have one stadium district, and that's down in the Navy Yard area, Buzzard Point. Because guess what? You got Nats Park. You got whatever they call that area, the bullpen. What do they call that area? I can't remember. Yeah, bullpen. And then you got Audi Field. Right? You have two stadiums down there. You've created a stadium district. Okay. You're not putting the stadium there. So leave that to be the stadium district where you have all this nightlife crap that goes on outside of the actual games. RFK site is for the Commanders, and it's going to be where we play football. All right, and we have a football culture that involves tailgating. All right,
Yeah.
I will go to our tailgates 20 times a year before I would be like, no, screw this. I'm going to go to the Green Turtle.
Yeah.
And I don't even hate Green Turtle. I mean, I'm saying I'm just using that because that's a chain that you see all over.
I just think it's a shitty location. You could make it the nice place in the world. It's a shit location, dude.
It's only a shit location if you want something other than football and parking space.
I mean, you can't even drive it there on a normal day at 3 a.m. There's traffic. It's a 2-lane 295. If they fix that, great. If they turn that into a 4-lane superhighway, great. But I don't think they will. I
don't think they need to because I think
you can't even get there without a stadium.
A lot of people will take the Metro.
And it falls right into there. We're not going to tailgate. And I know why DC doesn't want to tailgate, because they want something that's sustainable all year long to make money. I don't give a shit about that. That's why I say keep it where it is and let the Commanders do whatever they want.
And you can still make money, because guess what? How many times a year is FedEx Field used for concerts?
Quite a bit.
How many
used to be a lot more, not as much anymore.
Northwest Stadium. I gotta get FedEx out of my mouth because that's a Dan Snyder thing.
Yeah.
How many times a year do they play international soccer soccer games at that stadium?
A lot, all time.
All right. If it wasn't such an old hulking deal, we would have a World Cup game there again. We had World Cup games at RFK in '94.
We did. And if it's such a big deal, why did you let it sit decrepit for 15 years and not do anything about it? Like, that's what my thing is. Like, I don't know. I don't like the location. Traffic sucks. Yes, the Metro stop is fantastic.
I really do.
But
all right, I really do, because I like the fact that there's an existing Metro stop there. All right, if you put the stadium somewhere else, you gotta have Metro rail access. All right, 3 lines run through there: green, orange, and silver.
Yeah.
Or sorry, blue, orange, and silver, all run through Stadium Armory. Right, you have constant trains running through there. All right, so you're going to get an increase. Look, the WMATA always screams they don't have money. Right. You're going to have a lot more people using the Metro rail if you have a Metro stop at the actual stadium for all these events. All right. Now, that does get split up between the 3 areas, District, Virginia, and Maryland, but still more money in the WMATA. So you get that boost right there, right? Because more people are going to take the Metro rail if they don't have to walk over a mile up Garrett Morgan Boulevard to the stadium. All right. It's going to be great for the handicap, too. Lord knows, if you have any kind of handicap or if you're just completely out of shape, that Metro rail ain't an option.
No, you got to get someone to drive you all the way up to the stadium.
I once went to a game with my buddy of mine and his roommate. His roommate, it was the Antonio Brown twerk game. All right. My friend and I went with his roommate. His roommate was a Steelers fan. That guy was so out of shape, we had to stop 6 different times for him to catch his breath because it was that long of a walk.
Yeah.
All right. People look, and that made me get to think about this is not sustainable. Wherever it is, you have to have a Metro rail stop. And here's the thing: you're not going to get a Metro rail stop installed before a stadium's built.
Or
look how long it took them to build the Silver Line.
Yeah, or just offer, if you weren't cheap, you could offer a shuttle service for a fee from Morgan Boulevard. Now
that's still not an efficient method of doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know. I don't mind it.
A rail stop there that was designed for a stadium that existed.
Yeah.
You're fine.
But if you're asking me to say yes or no based on tailgate, and if it came down to just that, I'd say nope. Move it.
Boom. Here you go. Here's something we can bring back to make money in the district right there. Thank you to my girlfriend. Yeah. Bring back the DC 101 chili cook-off at RFK. Hell. Guess what used to be at RFK too? That wasn't there this year. HF Festival. That's back. Put it at RFK.
Races that I run in DC used to end at RFK. It started at Stadium Army and RFK, like the Shamrock Half Marathon, the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. They used to the Shamrock Fest.
Shamrock Fest
used to be in the parking lot of RFK. Yeah, you can do all those things. If there's no parking lot, I don't know what you're gonna do.
They had a parking lot there before.
They did.
Had a parking lot. Here's the thing: you've got to create. It creates festival grounds. There are no festival grounds in DC.
Yeah, not anymore. Not anymore. Now you just have these small concert halls, not Constitution, 930,
The new
Anthem.
930 Club. You got Echo Stage. You got the
Yeah.
Fillmore up in Silver Spring. There's plenty of those spots. But you
Yeah.
want to have a big festival ground, and big festival grounds bring in money, right?
Yeah.
Anytime one of these legacy music acts tours, or you get like God dare I say this, the next time Taylor Swift goes on one of her umpteen billion-dollar tours,
she's playing indoors, dude. They don't play outdoors. They rarely play
why
outdoors.
does she play Nashville outdoors?
I mean, I guess here, I guess you could. Because Jiffy Lube's closing down, right?
Well, Jiffy Lube wasn't big enough to hold her tour. She didn't come to
No.
DC.
She come to DC?
She did not come to DC.
I feel like that stadium's bigger than the Nashville one. I don't know that.
They didn't want to play there.
Huh.
Yeah,
maybe it was more of a. I don't know. I don't even know why.
I am in possession of some fantastic videos of her son and my son when they went viral at Shamrock Fest 12 years ago.
There you go, Shamrock Fest. Good
Back
time.
in the early days of going viral on Twitter.
We would run the Rock and Roll half and walk right over to the Shamrock Fest right after. It was right across the street. You start at Stadium Armory, walk over to RFK right there. Or you start at the DC Armory, excuse me. Then you walk across the street to the stadium. Fantastic times.
But you can do this. See, that makes it more of a year-round venue for big events, right? We don't have big events in DC because no one wants to go out to Maryland. God knows. Here's the funny thing: people in Maryland, all right, and I was born in Maryland, so I got a bone to pick with some of my fellow native statesmen. Y'all love to say, "I'm not going to Virginia to go to the stadium if they build it there." You have no problem making people in Virginia come to you, all right? And they've been doing it for almost 30 years, all right? So don't act high and mighty like you are too good to come to because let's face it, a lot of y'all moved to Virginia anyway to escape the taxes, all right? Don't act like you're too good for Virginia, all right?
I try not to go down there.
Too good for DC. Get on that goddamn metro line when they build RFK and come on in, all right? The water's fine. All right. Honestly, you can make this a year-round venue. You can make this a year-round venue you can bring back all these the Shamrock Fest, the Chili Cook-Off, HF Festival. DC used to be a spot for large festival type events, and it's gone. They're slowly trying to bring it back when they brought back HF Festival, but you need the space to do that, right? And not everybody wants to do it in the stadium. Sometimes it was like Shamrock Fest was always in the parking lot at RFK. Chili Cook-Off was always in the parking lot. You can make this a year-round venue that's more sustainable than just football. All right, but Bowser, being as she normally is, extremely short-sighted.
I mean, she said in her statement if this stadium goes to RFK, we would love to host a World Cup, including the Super Bowl. And yes, Beyonce and Taylor Swift. So I think her head's there for hosting those big concerts.
Well, you need a place to fucking park. Not everybody's going to take the metro. Now, you'll get a lot of people to take the metro. We don't need another bullpen district. It is what it is. We just need a stadium, and we need parking space, and we need to keep that metro stop nice and shiny.
It's going to come down to the funding. I mean, public funding versus private, Josh Harris funding. I don't know what they're going to settle on.
I think there's going to be a lot less to argue about if you just keep it to a stadium. Let's keep this simple.
What's up, Tia? How you doing?
What's up, Tia? Welcome. I'm on my soapbox.
Yeah, it's the last 15 minutes has been the Phil show. Phil's going off on RFK, man. I don't know. Their vision in the blueprints has this giant skyscrapers and shopping malls, and you ain't see it in the stadium. You don't see any parking garage underground. So Minnesota Vikings did it. Minnesota Vikings has no tailgating. I don't know. That's a deal breaker for me personally.
The only way this works is if your concession prices are like Atlanta's.
Yes, you could feed a family of 4 for $30. Hot dogs are $2. Come on, guys. Sodas are $3. But I mean, you make up for it in the PSLs, and they're making their money back. They just give a break on concessions. I'll pay a shit out. I'll pay out the wazoo for a PSL if you make me, if I can get a hot dog for $4.
$2.
Yeah, $2, whatever. Yeah.
Every new stadium is funded with PSLs to some degree anymore.
Yeah.